Hello, and once again, this is your host Harshit Sinha with an interesting related topic on extended producer responsibility, a global perspective, and a daunting, challenging task with which India is struggling for its implementation. Extended producer responsibility, that is EPR, is a globally recognized environmental policy approach that holds producers accountable for the entire life cycle of their products from design to end of life management. This presentation provides an overview of EPR, exploring its key principles, benefits, and implementation strategies worldwide. It is particularly relevant for Indian corporate executives and investment managers who are increasingly facing pressure to adopt sustainable practices and comply with evolving environmental regulations. Thus, we will explore the principle of EPR, its diverse application worldwide, and the nuance of Indian EPR framework. By large, this presentation will equip Indian corporate executives and investment managers with the knowledge necessary to navigate the evolving landscape of EPR, understand its implication for business sustainability, and identify potential investment opportunities in context to extended producer responsibility. The concept of extended producer responsibility was first formally introduced in 1990 by Thomas Lindequist in a report to the Swedish Ministry of Environment, aiming to encourage manufacturers to design environmentally friendly products by making them accountable for their entire life cycle, including disposal and recycling. The idea behind EPR is to make producers responsible for the entire life cycle of their products, especially for the take, back, recycling, and final disposal. This approach aims to decrease the total environmental impact of products by internalizing the cost of waste management into the product price. EPR is defined as a policy framework in which producers take financial and or operational responsibility for the collection, recycling, and disposal of their products after use. It incentivizes sustainable product design, resource efficiency, and the waste reduction. Countries like Germany, Canada, Japan, France, and India have adopted EPR regulation for waste streams like plastic, electronic, and packaging. By enforcing producer responsibility, EPR helps reduce landfill waste, promote circular economy practice, and minimize the environmental pollution, making it a crucial tool in modern waste management strategy. Now let us look at the rationale behind EPR. Extended producer responsibility, that is EPR, is a policy approach designed to reduce the environmental burden, promote eco-design, and share responsibility among the producer, consumer, and the waste management entities. First, reducing environmental burden. EPR aims to minimize the environmental impact of products by ensuring producers take responsibility for the entire life cycle of their product, including end of life management. This approach reduces waste, conserves resources, and decreases pollution by promoting recycling and proper disposal. The second is promoting eco-design. EPR encourages producers to design products with environmental consideration in mind by incorporating eco-design principles such as durability, recyclability, and the use of sustainable material. Producers can create products that have a lower environmental footprint and are easier to recycle or repurpose at the end of their life cycle. Third is sharing responsibility. EPR shifts the responsibility for waste management from consumer and local government to producers. By holding producers accountable, EPR ensures that the cost of waste management are internalized into the product price. This approach promotes a more sustainable and circular economy where all stakeholders, producers, consumers, and the waste processors work together to manage waste effectively. Now let us see the global harmonization of EPR policies. The lack of harmonization in EPR policies across different countries can create challenges for business operating globally. Companies may need to comply with different EPR requirements in different markets, increasingly complexity and cost. Greater harmonization of EPR policy would have facilitate trade and promote a level of playing field for business. The harmonization of EPR policies on a global scale is essential to promoting sustainable waste management, but it faces significant challenges related to complex cost and trade impacts. Let us see one by one. First is complexity. EPR policies vary widely across countries, making compliance difficult for multinational companies. The European Union enforces its stringent EPR regulation requiring procedures to finance waste collection and recycling. In contrast, many developing countries or nations lack comprehensive EPR framework, leading to inconsistency in enforcement. A globally standardized approach would simplify compliance, ensure accountability, and improve waste management effectiveness. Second is related with cost. The financial burden of implementing EPR policy varies based on the regional infrastructure and regulatory framework. High-income countries have well-established recycling systems, whereas low-income nations often struggle with funding and infrastructure gap. A harmonized EPR system could lead to cost-sharing mechanism, reduce inefficiency, and encourage global investment in circular economy initiatives. The third is related to trade. Divergent EPR policy create trade barrier by imposing different recycling, labeling, and take-back requirement across markets. The fragmentation increases administrative cost and complicates supply chain management for international business. Standardization EPR regulation could facilitate cross-border trade by establishing uniform recycling target, compliance mechanism, and reporting system. A globally aligned EPR policy framework would streamline regulatory process, enhance producer responsibility, and drive sustainable waste management. Achieving harmonization requires international cooperation, policy alignment, and the investment in recycling infrastructure. Countries and industries must collaborate to develop standardized EPR mechanisms that balance economic feasibility with environmental responsibility. Now let us look global EPR landscape in key regions. EPR has become a cornerstone of sustainable waste management globally. This policy approach, which shifts the responsibility for end-of-life product management to producers, have seen varying levels of implementation and success across different regions. Here are a brief overview of key regions. First is European Union. The EU has been a pioneer in EPR with comprehensive legislation covering various waste streams including packaging, electronic, batteries, and end-of-life vehicle. The EU Waste Management Framework Directive sets the overarching framework, while specific directive outline targets and obligations for such product category. Key features of EU approach include harmonized standards, mandatory procedure, participation in collection and recycling scheme, and emphasis on eco-design. The EU success in driving high recycling rate has served as a model for other regions. The next is country like Japan. Japan approach to EPR, known as the Recycling Society, emphasizes shared responsibility between producer, consumer, and local governments. The country has enacted specific laws for various waste streams, including home appliances, containers, and packaging and automobile. Japan's systems relies heavily on the consumer cooperation in waste separation and collection, coupled with producer organized recycling system. A unique feature is the emphasis on 3R, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle, prioritizing waste prevention and reuse over recycling. The third is related country like Canada. Canada's EPR landscape is characterized by decentralized approach with province and territories holding primary responsibility for waste management. While there is no federal EPR legislation, many provinces have implemented their own program covering various product categories. This decentralized system has to lead variation in program design and effective across the country. However, there is a growing trend towards greater harmonization and collaboration between the province to improve efficiency and effectiveness. These three regions represent diverse approach to EPR implementation, reflecting different cultural context, regulatory framework, and the waste management challenges. While the EU has focused on the harmonization and mandatory scheme, Japan has emphasized shared responsibility and consumer cooperation, and Canada has adopted to more decentralized province-led approach. Despite these difficulties, all three regions share the common goal of shifting towards more circular economy and reducing the environmental impact of waste. Now let us look in detail region-wise. The European Union Waste Framework Directive set the overall framework for waste management, including EPR. Individual member states have implemented specific EPR scheme for various product categories such as packaging, electronic, batteries, and end-of-life vehicle. These schemes typically involve producer responsibility organization that manages the collection, sorting, and recycling of waste on behalf of producer. The European Union has been global leader in extended producer responsibility, implementing policy to promote sustainable waste management and circular economic principle. First is early adaptation. The EU introduced EPR in 1990s, making it one of the first regions to formalize producer responsibility for the waste management. The concept gained traction through national initiative before being integrated to EU-wide legislation to ensure consistency across member states. Next is EU directives. The Waste Framework Directive 2008/98/EC and the Packaging and Packaging Waste Directive 94/62/EC form the foundation of EPR in Europe. These law mandates producers to finance, collect and recycle waste from their products, covering sectors like packaging, electronic waste, batteries and end-of-life vehicle. The Circular Economy Action Plan on 2020 further strengthened EPR by setting higher recycling targets and sustainable standards. The third is Producer Responsibility Organization. To facilitate EPR compliance, producers often work with PROs which manage waste collection, recycling and reporting. These organizations such as eco-modulation in France and DSD in Germany streamline waste management processes and ensure compliance with the national and EU regulation. EPR in Europe has significantly reduced landfill waste and increased recycling rates, making it a model for global waste management strategies. Since we have discussed about EPR in European region, let us take a case study. First is related to the Germany's green dot system for packaging is a well-known example of successful EPR scheme. Germany's green dot system, introduced in 1991, was the world's first extended producer responsibility program for packaging waste. Established under the Packaging Ordinance, the system requires producers to pay fees based on the amount and recyclability of their packaging. The financial incentives have significantly influenced the sustainable packaging design and the waste management practice. The key achievements are higher recycling rates. The green dot system has helped Germany achieve one of the highest packaging recycling rates globally, exceeding 80%. This success has significantly reduced landfill dependency on environmental pollution. The second is related to reduction in the packaging waste. Within the first 10 years of implementation, packaging waste was reduced by over 1 million ton annually, showcasing the effectiveness of EPR in minimizing waste at the source. Third is related to the promotion of eco-friendly packaging. Manufacturers have shifted towards lighter, recyclable and environmentally friendly material, leading to less resource consumption and carbon emission. Fourth is related to EU and the global influences. The Green Dot system became a model for the EU Packaging Waste Directive and inspired similar EPR program across Europe and beyond. Over 30 countries have since adopted the comparable systems, strengthening globally efforts toward the circular economic principles. Germany's Green Dot remains a benchmark for the sustainable packaging waste management, providing the effectiveness of EPR in driving environmental and economic benefits. Similarly, France has also implemented robust EPR system, including co-modulation of fees to incentivize eco-design. France has pioneered the eco-modulation of EPR fee, a policy designed to incentivize eco-design by adjusting producer fee based on the environmental impact on the packaging and products. Introduced under the Extended Producer Responsibility framework, eco-modulation reward manufacturing who adopt sustainable materials, recyclability and reduce waste generation, while imposing higher fees on environmentally harmful product. The first is to encourage eco-friendly packaging. France's eco-modulation system, implemented by organizations like CTO, and led to notably shift towards recyclable and compostable packaging. Companies using lightweight material, recycled content, or mono-material packaging receive financial incentives. The second is related to reduction of the plastic waste. The policy has contributed to a 20% reduction in single-use plastic packaging as business redesign and their product to qualify for fee reduction. The third is related with the promoting circular economy. By linking EPR fee to product sustainability, the system has accelerated innovation in eco-design and increased investment in reuse and recyclability. The fourth is related to alignment with the EU goals. France's eco-modulation strategy, aligned with the European Green Deal and the EU Packaging and Packaging Waste Directive, is strengthening France's position as a leader in sustainable waste management. France's eco-modulation of EPR fee remains a model for driving sustainable production and reducing environmental impact, proving that the financial incentives effectively promote circular economic principle. These European experiences provide a valuable lessons for other countries to develop EPR policies. Now let us look a unique approach of EPR in Japan. Extended producer responsibility in Japan is a unique approach that emphasizes shared responsibility among the various stakeholders to promote recycle and sustainable waste management. Two key laws under this framework are the Home Appliance Recycling Law and the Container and Packaging Recycling Law. Let us look one by one. The first is the Home Appliance Recycling Law, enacted in 2001, targets large home appliances like television, air conditioner, and refrigerators. It mandates manufacturing to take back and recycle these appliances at the end of their life cycle. This law aims to reduce waste, recover valuable materials, and manages hazardous substances effectively. The second is Container Packaging and Recycling Law. Effectiveness since 1997 focuses on recycling containers and packaging materials such as PET bottles, glass paper, and plastic. Producers are responsible for collecting and recycling these materials, shifting the burden from municipalities to manufacturer. This law has significantly increased recycling rates and reduced waste. The third is the key aspect of EPR in Japan is shared responsibility among the nationals, government, municipality, businesses and consumers. The government provides guidelines and support municipalities, handles collections and sorting, businesses manage recycling process and the consumers are encouraged to separate recyclable material. This collaborative approach ensures effective waste management and promote a circular economy. In conclusion, Japan's EPR framework with its emphasis on the shared responsibility and comprehensive recycling laws serves as a model for sustainable waste management and resource conservation. Now let us look another decentralized model of EPR, that is in North America. In North America, EPR is primarily implemented at the provincial or the state level with varying approach to product coverage and the producer responsibility. Product stewardship organizations play a key role in managing EPR's program, often in collaboration with the industries and government. Industries-led initiatives also contribute to waste reduction and recycling efforts. Provisional regulation. Provisions in Canada have implemented EPR regulation targeting specific materials and products. For example, British Columbia has EPR program for packaging and printed materials, while Ontario focuses on electronic and hazardous waste. These regulations require procedures to manage the end-of-life disposal of their products, shifting the financial and operational responsibility away from municipalities. The next is product stewardship. Product stewardship is a key component of EPR, emphasizing the shared responsibility of manufacturers, retailers, consumers, and other stakeholders in reducing the environmental impact of product. The Product Stewardship Institute has been instrumental in developing the EPR policies and program across North America. The PSI's model legislation and advocacy efforts have led to enactment of EPR law in 33 states covering 18 product category. The next is industry initiative. Industries have also taken proactive steps to implement EPR programs. Companies like Clean Hub offer solutions to help businesses comply with the EPR regulation by managing the collection and recycling of packaging materials. These initiatives not only support environmental sustainability but also provide economic benefits by reducing waste and promoting the circular economy. Now let us look about the EPR and Producer Responsibility Organization, that is PRO. PRO plays a crucial role in implementing EPR by managing waste collection, recycling and compliance on behalf of producer. The PRO act as intermediaries between the producer, governments and the waste management entities, ensuring efficient and the cost-effective operation. The first is related with the key functions. The PROs oversee collection, sorting, recycling and disposal of the waste products, ensuring compliance with the national and regional EPR regulation. They help producers meet recycling targets and streamline reporting and documentation. The next is related with the financial management. The PROs finance waste management by collecting fees from the producer based on the product volume, recyclability and environmental impact. These funds support infrastructure, logistics and public awareness campaigning. Eco-modulate fee structure rewards sustainable product design while penalizing excessive waste generation. The next is related with the stakeholder engagement. The PROs collaborate with the governments, municipalities, recyclers and NGOs to improve waste management efficiency. They also engage consumers through educational programs promoting responsible waste disposal. Leading PROs like eco-modulation, that is in France, DSD in Germany and Recyclable BC, again in Canada, demonstrate successful multi-stakeholder partnership. By reducing the burden of government and enhancing the circular economic effort, the PROs are essential to effective EPR implementation worldwide. Now let us explore how EPR is linked with the Sustainable Development Goal. By promoting sustainable waste management practice, EPR helps reduce pollution, conserve resources, and mitigate climate change. Implementing effective EPR policies is essential for achieving the SDGs and building a more sustainable future. EPR contributes to several sustainable development goals, including first is SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. EPR mandate producers to manage the entire life cycle of their products, reducing waste and promoting eco-friendly design. By enforcing recycle targets and eco-modulation of fee, EPR supports a transition towards sustainable production and consumption. The next is SDGs 13, climate action. By encouraging material recovery and the waste reduction, EPR helps lower greenhouse emission from waste disposal, incineration, and resource extraction. Circular economic strategies promoted by EPR contribute to carbon footprint reduction. Next is related with SDG 14, life below water. EPR helps combat plastic pollution in oceans by improving waste collection and reducing single-use plastic. Programs like Deposit Return System, that is DRS, and the Plastic Recycling Incentive prevents marine litter and protect aquatic ecosystem. The last one is related with the SDG 15, that is life on land. By reducing landfill dependency and promoting responsible resource extraction, EPR safeguards terrestrial ecosystem, sustainable waste management, and prevents soil and water contamination, ensuring better biodiversity conservation. EPR serves as a key policy tool for achieving global sustainable goals by integrating economic, environmental, and social responsibilities. Now let us discuss the benefits of implementing EPR scheme. Implementing EPR scheme offers numerous benefits promoting environmental sustainability and economic efficiency. Increased recycling rates. EPR scheme mandates producers to take responsibility for the end of life management of their products. This polluter pays approach incentivizes manufacturers to collect and recycle materials, leading to higher recycle rates. By shifting the burden from consumer to municipality to producer, EPR schemes ensure more efficient and effective recycling process. Next is eco-design and innovation. EPR encourages manufacturers to incorporate eco-design principle, making product more recyclable and environmentally friendly. Producers are motivated to reduce the use of hazardous material, enhance product durability, and design for easier disassembly and recycling. The focus is on eco-design drives innovation, resulting in sustainable products and technology that minimize environmental impact. The next is related with the cost saving for municipalities. EPR scheme alleviates the financial and the operational burden on municipalities by transferring the responsibility for waste management to producers. Municipalities can redirect resources towards other essential services, improving overall community welfare. Additionally, EPR reduces landfill dependency and associated costs and promoting a circular economy where materials are continuously reused and recycled. In conclusion, EPR scheme offers significant benefits including increased recycling rates, promotion of eco-design and innovation, and cost saving for municipalities. These advantages contributes to a more sustainable and efficient waste management. This slide discusses about the environmental impact of EPR. EPR is a key environmental policy that promotes sustainable waste management by shifting responsibility for product disposal from governments to producers. EPR significantly contributes to waste reduction, emissions reduction, and resource conservation, leading to more circular economy. Waste reduction nearly 50%. Countries with well-established EPR systems such as Germany, Sweden and Canada have reported waste reduction of up to 50% by enforcing mandatory recycling target, eco-design incentives and producer-funded waste management. EPR ensured that fewer products end up in landfills and incinerators. Programs like Germany's Green Dot system and the France eco-modulation fee encourages companies to use recyclable and biodegradable material, further cutting waste generation. The next is emission reduction nearly to 20%. EPR contributes to a 20% reduction in a greenhouse gas emission by reducing landfill methane emission, lowering energy intensive virgin material extraction and increasing recycling rates. Recycling aluminium, plastic and the paper under EPR systems consumes significantly less energy, helping to curb carbon footprints. Resource conservation, that is nearly to 30%. EPR driven closed loop recycling and reuse program lead to 30% resource conservation, reducing reliance on raw materials. Countries implementing circular economic strategy through EPR have successfully lowered deforestation, mining and waste consumption, mitigating biodiversity loss and environmental degradation. EPR is a proven mechanism for achieving waste reduction, climate goals and resource efficiency, making it essential for global sustainability efforts. Thus, EPR has significant environmental benefits including waste reduction, emission reduction and resource conservation. By increasing recycling rates and promoting eco-design, EPR can help minimize the environmental impact of products. Now let us discuss the role of government in enforcing EPR. The government play a crucial role in enforcing EPR by monitoring and evaluating scheme, establishing enforcement mechanism and providing incentives, penalties to ensure compliance and promoting to implement end user guidelines. Thus, the government play a crucial role in implementation and monitoring and enforcement of EPR policies. Their involvement ensured that producers comply with environmental regulation, recycling target and circular economic goal. First is monitoring and evaluation. The government established monitoring framework to track waste collection, recycling rates and producer compliance. Agencies such as European environmental agencies and Canada's Ministry of Environment conduct regular audit and impact assessment to measure the effectiveness of EPR policy. Next is enforcement mechanism. Authorities implement legal frameworks that requires producers to register with the Producer Responsibility Organization, that is PROs, report waste management data and meet recycling quotas. Government also standardize eco-labeling and product lifecycle assessment to promote transparency. The next is related to incentives and penalties. To encourage compliance, government provides financial incentives such as tax benefits and subsidies for business adopting sustainable packaging and recycling initiatives. Conversely, non-compliance lead to penalties including fines, restriction and producer liability for environmental damage. For example, France's eco-modulation fee system rewards companies for eco-friendly product design, while Germany imposes strict financial penalties for failing to meet the waste recovery target. The last one is related to promoting end user guideline. Government engage in public awareness campaigning to educate consumer on proper waste disposal, recycling practice and participation in Take Back program. Initiatives like the EU's Circular Economy Action Plan ensure that the citizens and the business actively contribute to EPR's success. Now let us discuss investment strategies for EPR sector. Investment strategies in the EPR sector are crucial for promoting sustainable waste management and fostering innovation. Here are some key strategies. First, investment in waste collection and transportation infrastructure. Investing in efficient waste collection and transportation infrastructure is essential for effective EPR implementation. Upgrading collection system, establishing recycling centers, and enhancing logistics can streamline the recycling processes, reduce costs, and improve overall efficiency. Next is providing funding for recycling technology development. Supporting the development of advanced recycling technology is vital for increasing recycling rates and handling complex waste stream. Funding research and development in areas such as chemical recycling, biodegradable material, and automation can lead to innovation solutions that enhance the recycling process. Next is supporting the growth of producer responsibility organization, that is PROs. PROs plays a critical role in managing EPR program by coordinating the collection, sorting, and recycling of products. Investing in the growth and the capacity building of PRO ensures they can effectively handle the increasing volume of recyclable materials and maintain high standard of environmental performance. Fourth is related with the investing in sustainable product designing and manufacturing. Encouraging sustainable product designing and manufacturing practice is a proactive approach to reducing waste at source. Investment in eco-design, material efficiency, and renewable materials can lead to products that are easier to recycle and have a lower environmental impact throughout their life cycle. Next is related with the participating in the waste to energy project. Waste to energy project convert non-recyclable waste into energy, reducing landfill use and generating renewable energy. Investing in these products supports a circular economy by providing an alternative to traditional waste disposal methods and contributing to sustainable energy production. In conclusion, strategies investment in waste collection infrastructure, recycling technology, PROs, sustainable products design, and waste to energy products are essential for advancing EPR and promoting environmental sustainability. Now let us understand how we can measure the effectiveness of EPR, that is their matrices. Measuring the effectiveness of EPR scheme is essential for tracking progress, identifying areas for improvement. Key matrices for evaluating EPR performance includes: first is collection rates, that is target 80%. EPR programs aims to collect at least 80% of its end of life products for proper treatment. Effective collection infrastructure, take back program, and consumer participation are essential for achieving this target. Germany's Green Dot system and the Canada's EPR framework have successfully improved collection rate for packaging, electronic, and batteries. The next is related with the recycling rate. The target set is 70%. Recycling rate measures the percentage of collected waste that is successfully recycled. Countries with a strong EPR framework such as Sweden and Japan achieve 70% of recycling rates by promoting high quality material, recover, and advanced sorting technology. The third is waste diversion rate. Target is set 50%. EPR helps divert at least 50% of the waste from landfills through recycling, reuse, and the waste to energy solution. France, the Netherlands have implemented effective landfill bans and producer-led circular economy initiative to achieve this. Next is related to reduction in landfill waste. EPR encourages alternative disposal methods such as mechanical recycling, composting, and incinerations with the energy recovery. This reduces the burden on the landfills and mitigates soil contamination, groundwater pollution, and methane emission. Last but not the least, environmental and health impact. Improved waste management lead to clean air, water, and ecosystem, reducing respiratory disease, waterborne illness, and toxic exposure. By minimizing plastic pollution and hazardous waste, EPR protects both physical landscape and human health. The effectiveness of EPR program is measured through key performance indicators such as collection rates, recycling rates, waste diversion rate, landfill reduction, and environmental and health impact. These matrices help policymakers, businesses, and stakeholders assess the success of EPR initiative in achieving the sustainability goal. This slide explores what is the future of EPR. The future of EPR looks promising, driven by expanding product categories, a stronger emphasis on eco-design and product stewardship, increased use technology, and enhance the collaboration among the stakeholders. Let us first see what is the future scenario of EPR. The first is related with the expansion of EPR to new product categories. As environmental concern grows, EPR schemes are likely to extend beyond traditional categories like packaging and electronics to include textiles, furniture, and construction material. This expansion will encourage manufacturers in diverse sectors to take responsibility for their products' life cycle, promoting sustainable practice across industries. The second is related with the greater emphasis on the eco-design and the product stewardship. Future EPR policies will likely place greater importance on eco-design, encouraging manufacturers to create products that are easier to recycle, repair, and reuse. This shift will drive innovations in material and design, reducing environmental impact and extending product lifespan. Product stewardship will also become a more integral with all stakeholders, manufacturers, retailers, consumers, sharing the responsibility for minimizing the product's environmental footprint. Increased use of technology to improve EPR effectiveness. The technological advancement will play a crucial role in enhancing EPR effectiveness. Innovations in tracking and data management system can improve the monitoring and collection of products, ensuring higher recycling rates. Additionally, advancement in recycling technologies such as chemical recycling and AI-powered sorting system will make recycling process more efficient and cost-effectiveness. The last one is related with the stronger collaboration among the stakeholders. The success of future EPR scheme will depend on stronger collaboration among the government, business, and consumers. Policymakers will need to establish clear and consistent regulation, while business must invest in sustainable practices and infrastructure. Consumer education and engagement will also be vital to ensure proper disposal and recycling of products. In conclusion, the future scenario of EPR invasion, expanded product categories, increased focus on eco-design, technological advancement, and enhanced stakeholders' collaboration. These developments will drive sustainable waste management and resource conservation. Further, the future of EPR is poised for the significant advancement driven by trends such as eco-modulation of fee, digital technologies, expansion to new product categories, and a strong enforcement of regulation. First, the greater emphasis on eco-modulation of EPR fee. Eco-modulation involves adjusting EPR fee based on the environmental performance of products. This trend encourages manufacturers to design eco-friendly products by offering lower fees for products that are easier to recycle, contain fewer hazardous materials, and have a longer lifespan. Eco-modulation incentivizes sustainable design and production practice, aligning economic incentives with the environmental goals. The next is related with the increased use of digital technologies for tracking and tracing waste. The integration of digital technologies such as Internet of Things, that is IoT, blockchain, and artificial intelligence, that is AI, is transforming waste management. These technologies enable precise tracking and tracing of waste throughout the life cycles from production to disposal. Enhanced data collection and analysis improve transparency, accountability, and efficiency in EPR and ensuring that the materials are properly managed and recycled. The third is related with the expansion of EPR to new product category. EPR is expected to expand to encompasses a broader range of product categories including textile, furniture, and construction material. This expansion will compel manufacturers in the various sectors to take responsibility for their product end of life management, promoting sustainable practice across a wider array of industries. The inclusion of new category will further reduce waste and enhance resource conservation. And the last but not the least is related with the stronger enforcement of EPR regulation. The future will likely see stricter enforcement of EPR regulation, ensuring compliance and effectiveness. Government may introduce more stringent penalties for non-compliance and strengthen monitoring mechanism. This increased regulatory oversight will drive manufacturers to adhere to EPR requirement, fostering a culture of environmental responsibility. In conclusion, future trend in EPR will focus on eco-modulation of fee, digital technologies, expansion of new products categories, and stronger enforcement. These developments will enhance the effectiveness of EPR program, promoting sustainability and environmental stewardship. Well, this is the last slide of this interesting presentation, where today we introduce to the topic on a global perspective of EPR, followed by its definition, rationale, and the global harmonization of EPR policies. We describe the extent of EPR among the key regions, starting from Europe with the EPR successful case study in Germany and France, with countries like Japan and North America. The discussion continued with the explanation on the Producer Responsibility Organization and linking EPR with Sustainable Development Goals. Later, benefits of implementing EPR scheme was discussed, followed by environmental impact of EPR. The discussion continued exploring the role of government in enforcing EPR, investing strategies, and measuring the effectiveness of EPR sector in India. At the end of the topic was explore looking the future scenario and the trends of EPR in India. Well, this is not the end of the discussion, as we strive to bring some interesting facts relating the scope. So stay tuned till next week before we dive into more fact on the progress of the extended producer responsibility in India. Till then, we wish you happy and stay safe wherever you all are residing.